Hey, it's Chris, your private lending guy here. And in this video, I'm going to answer the question, what are the rates of return that we offer our private lenders? Now, if you stick around till the end, I'm going to show you how our private lenders are getting 13 to 18% returns. Now, we call this our true rate model because unlike most other investing options you might be familiar with, inside our model, we do not charge hidden fees. So when we talk about your rate of return, that's going to be your true rate of return. Now, to answer this question, I've created a simple graphic that you should be seeing on your screen that lays out our returns inside of the Creative Investing Club program. Now, as you can see, we have three different private lending levels. Level 1 is going to be your pro level, level 2 is our elite level, and level 3 is our VIP level. Now, each level, as you can see, is based on what your budget for private lending is and how fast you want to go. You'll also see that your budget will drive the rate of return you will get. And so the pro level is for lenders who have from $100,000 to right around $499,000 to start with. Okay, the elite level is for lenders who have between $500,000 and that $999,000 mark. And then the VIP level is for lenders who have between $1 million and $2.5 million in their budget. Okay, now the pro level is going to return 8% interest-only payments. The elite level is going to return 9% interest-only payments. And you can see here the VIP level is going to return 10% interest-only payments. Now, those are going to be the baseline rates, but there is a way to earn a higher rate of return at each level if you commit to our private lending cash flow program for at least 3 years. Okay, and here's how that works. The goal inside of our program is to turn your money 1, sometimes 2 times per 12-month period. Now, turning your money is the term that we use when we take your money from one deal and we place it into the next deal. Now, the main reason we would put your money from one deal into the next deal is because the deal that your money was in was ready for long-term 30-year financing. Now, most of the time, 30-year financing isn't going to be in your best interest. And so what we do is we take your money out of that 30-year financing deal and we put it into our next deal. And that process is called turning your money. It's also the way we ensure your money is working for you each and every day. Now, the reason I share that with you is because when you decide to commit your money into our private lending cash flow program for at least 3 years, we are going to give you access as a bonus to our capital growth program. And inside of that program, you're going to get a bonus on your rate of return each time we turn your money. Okay, so here's what that's going to look like. If you're at the pro level, and let's say for this example, you've got $300,000 in your budget for lending on single-family home real estate. Okay, so you're going to be lending that money. It's going to be earning 8% interest-only payments. You're going to get an extra 1/4 point every time we turn your money. That's $625 of capital growth every time we turn your money. Now, that 1/4 point or that $625 of capital growth can get paid out when your money turns into the next deal, or you can choose to keep it in the next deal to increase your monthly interest-only payments on your capital. That will be your decision, and we will talk through that when it's time. Now remember, our goal is to turn your money 1, sometimes 2 times per 12-month period. So let's say over a 3-year period, we turn your money on average, let's say every 7 months. Now that would mean over that 36-month period at the pro level, you'd be getting a 1/4 point of capital growth bonus 5 times. Okay, and that's going to equal an additional 1.25% or $3,750 of capital growth on your initial $300,000 budget. Now, another way to look at your return over that 3-year period would be to take that 1.25% capital growth bonus and divide it by 3 years and add that to your preferred 8% rate of return. Now, when you do that, you would be averaging around 8.43% return over that 3-year period at the pro level with that $300,000 in your budget. Now, if you're at the elite level with, let's say, for example, purposes here, you've got $750,000 in your budget. That $750,000 is going to be earning 9% interest-only payments, and you're committed for at least 3 years, then your capital growth bonus is going to be 0.5 percentage point. Okay, so if we use the same math of turning your money on average 5 times over those 3 years, you'd be getting $18,750 of capital growth on your initial $750,000. Now, if you divide that 2.5% of capital growth bonus over a 3-year period, you can see you'd be averaging return over 3 years of around 9.83%. Now, finally, let's say you're at the VIP level. And let's say for this example purposes, you've got a $2 million budget that's earning 10% interest-only payments, and you're committed for at least 3 years. Well, then your capital growth bonus is going to be 1 percentage point each time that we turn your money into the next deal. Okay, so if we use the same math of turning your money on average 5 times over those 3 years, you'd be getting $100,000 of capital growth on your initial $2 million. Now, if you divide that 5% capital growth bonus over a 3-year period, you can see you'd be averaging a return over 3 years of around 11.67%. And remember, no matter what private lending level you are in, your upfront principal is always part of our principal protection program. Let me give you one more view of what we've discussed to make sure it's clear in your mind. Okay, so the graphic on the screen shows your preferred return, and it shows our target return over a 3-year period at each private lending level. So you can see here, as a recap, you've got the preferred return at 8%, 9%, or 10%. Those are going to be interest-only payments, so you're inside of our principal protection program. Our 3-year target return there is going to be 8.42%, 9.83%, or 11.67%. And then you can see the capital growth program bonus points you're going to be getting, which would be 1/4 point, 1/2 point, or a full point based on which level that you are at. Now, before we leave this conversation about how our rate of return works, I promised I'd show you how to get 13 to 18% on your money. Let's discuss that now, and to do that, the first thing I want to point out is the math you are looking at on your screen is the math for one deal. And one deal inside of our predictable long-term cash flow program requires a budget of around $125,000 on average. So if you are at the VIP level, and let's say your budget was $1 million, that would mean on average, we would place your money into 8 deals. That means you would have 8 deals working for you all at once, getting that 1% point bonus every 7 months. So not only in year 1 are you getting your 10% preferred return on every deal, but you are getting that 1% point bonus 8 times. And that's an additional 8 percentage points on top of your 10% you're already getting on your $1 million. In this example, that would mean your annual year 1 return would be 18%. And that's the power of private lending with real estate. And hopefully you got that, and if you didn't, we really need to talk so that I can walk you through it, which I'm happy to do. Now, you may be wondering what program is available for a budget over $2.5 million. Well, the answer is that's where we can get into talking about equity splits, where you effectively have an opportunity to become a partner with us in our deals. If that interests you, just let us know. Now, you may also be wondering why we offer more points for turning your money at the elite and the VIP levels in our program. Well, the answer is that it costs our team money to raise capital for our deals. So when we find private lenders who are willing to give us a bigger budget that reduces our cost of money, well, as a thanks for helping us out, we are willing to increase your capital growth bonus opportunity. And hopefully that answers the question, what are the rates of return we offer our private lenders? Now, if you've got other questions around what I just shared, please email me back or send me a text to my personal cell phone. I'd love to talk more about it with you. Now, before I let you go, I'd like to share another quick case study with you of a deal that we did with one of our private lenders. So here's a picture of the single-family home that we purchased using money from our private lender. I'll show you the math in a minute, but first, I do want to remind you of our core belief as a company, which gives us our unique positioning in the market over our competition. And this is our core belief. A person who is paying $1,000 a month to rent would rather pay $1,000 a month to buy. Now, the reason that this core belief gives us unique positioning in the market over our competition is because our entire model when it comes to finding and buying real estate is to use a math formula that allows us to get into the deal so that we can charge our buyers what they would be paying to rent that same property every month. Okay? And in order to do that, as you can imagine, that just takes years of experience and learning the skill on how to make that math work. And that's really, again, what our unique positioning and really secret recipe is inside of our business. Okay, so let's look at what's in it for my private lender on this particular deal. So as you can see here, on this property, your investment would be $160,000. The after repair value of the property is $225,000. You can see the loan to value would be 71%. And as you know, we don't go above 75%. Okay. The property is going to be secured by a first lien new mortgage. Our private lender is going to be in the first lien position, so they've got the safety and security that they're looking for. The investment term here is 36 months. You can see the rate of return is 10%, and then that would lead to a monthly interest income of $1,333.33. So you can see there $16,000 per year. Okay, now that math does not account for the bonus point that would be given when the money gets turned. This is just your preferred rate of return math. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Here's what I want you to do next if you're ready. Okay, there should be a button somewhere around the video where you can book a one-on-one strategy call with me to get all your questions answered and see if private lending is a good fit for your investing goals. And if it is, we can then discuss putting you into our queue so that you're positioned as close to the front of the line as possible for when our next private lending opportunity becomes available. Now, I'll even tell you on our call how to jump straight to the front of the line if you're someone who wants to go fast. And here's my personal cell if you have any questions. Texting always works best with the volume of calls I get, but definitely feel free to call if that's preferred for you. Thanks for your trust. I don't take it for granted, and I'll see you in the next video. To freedom.